Hey Copic fans, Michelle Houghton here. Really a fun, quick tutorial. This is a brand new set from Craft and Kimmy that is coming out here in the month of October 2022. And this little Mary Moose set has got, let's see, we've got two moose and a tree and some ornaments and 3-4 sentiments. So fun stuff. And I have this image completely covered up, colored up and put into a card for you to see kind of at the end. But I thought one of the fun things that I could share was what I'm going to do with their little sweaters. So they're really tiny. So you could go all out and give them this knit pattern. You could do, there's a bunch of different ideas. We're going to do two separate ones. We're going to keep this one a little more simple. We're going to do this one a little more complicated, but we're going to keep them really fun and easy so you guys can get a little bit of kind of a woolly fabric feel. And a lot of you have seen me do these techniques before, so some of this is not new, but if you're new to me, this might be new to you. I'm going to get a little closer. So I'm going to do mostly, kind of primary, secondary colors on this image. It's going to be real bright and bold. This is a B28, which is royal blue. You might have seen me pull the cap off that last one. So on your sketch markers, one option you can do is replace one of your ends with a fine sketch fine nib. And I had done that on a few of my really dark markers that I don't use as often. And I forgot that that one had that fine nib on it. So this is a B28 royal blue. I'll pull that back over so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is a B29 and it has that fine nib on it. And I had done that on ones that I knew I wouldn't necessarily do a lot of blending with because they're, or if I was, I just need it on the edge. But just to show people what that would do. All right, B26. And I'm going dark to light because these are so small. And I don't want a whole bunch of extra ink on this because of what I'm going to do here at the end. So I'm trying to do kind of a real quick light layer. And I'm going to end, did I say what that was? Cobalt blue. And then I've got a B24, which is sky. And this one is odd to me because B24 is always a much bigger jump than I anticipate it to be. If you look at the cap, I feel like it doesn't necessarily match the color that well. I'm expecting something more royal blue to come out of this marker, and that's just not what happens. I like the color. I'm not saying that. It's just not what I expect when I pick it up. But here's your B24. So I'm going to give that a second to sit quietly over here because I want it mostly dry. And I'm going to come over here to this little guy and he's going to wear red. Sorry, I've been substitute teaching all day and I'm a little giddy. We've got a R29, which is your lipstick red. This is one of the few colors that I know by name. I think everyone should own a little lipstick red. To me, it is probably the intense red that exists. Like, it is red, right? It's your red. And even if I wasn't doing a sweater pattern on this, a lot of times with reds, I'm going to go dark to light because I feel like I can control the color a little bit better. This is R24 and it is called Prawn. I don't have as many issues going outside the lines. kind of bleeding out. And I definitely would rather not do that with my reds because you know it's not going to get shoved back in. And then my R2 one, sorry, I've enlarged it too much for you to see it, is Sardonyx. Sardonyx? Sardonyx. And this always takes a little bit of work. So what I usually do, it doesn't necessarily want to just blend in, is I put that coat, nice coat of the R2-1 down, and then very lightly with my R2-4 kind of brush across, and then one more time, R2-1. It smooths it out and brightens it back up. Now, if you don't want to get it that dark, you want to keep it lighter, keep fiddling. And you could also do an R2-2. There's other options there. You've got an R2-7 and R2-2. I'm gapping. Part of that is because I'm going to come back and put texture on this. So sitting quietly, shifting back to our blues. So this one we're going crazy easy. And I'm going to grab a piece of terry cloth and my colorless blender in my mister. I'm going to spray 2 to 3 times. I did 3. So it's damp, but it's not drippy. Now, if you choose to do this little technique, you want to do it first. You want to do it before you color the mousse because it's kind of going everywhere. And I don't want the mousse to have a disease. I just want the sweater to be woolly. Now you could argue I want the mousse to be woolly as well. And he can be. You could do that. His legs look like he might have fuzzy pants or leggings on. So you could do that. Mine are going to just be furry. So he's just wearing a sweater. They're comfy. So this is one way to do kind of a woolly sweater. Super fast, super easy. I caution you, when you hit it with that alcohol, you can bleed into those lights. You can make a huge mess. And that's why I would encourage you to do that technique before you do anything else, if that's how you're going to do your sweaters. This little guy, I'm actually going to hint at a cable knit. So I'm going to grab my R2-9, and I will tell you, I may use a darker color here in a second. I'm going to start kind of at this little, where the knit or cable knit kind of switches. And I'm going to do these little teeny tiny flicks, and they're curved. Notice they kind of curve around his tummy and straight up and down along that cable along the bottom. He's going to have them right along his collar to show the texture on his collar. And then think about the direction. If you're wearing a sweater, does it go the length of your arm? Mine don't. Mine go around. Isn't that right? Now that I'm saying that, is that right? Or does it go the length of your arm? Oh my gosh, now I don't know. Pausing, finding out. Hold on. Okay, I was wrong. It goes the length of your arm. It does go. There's a seam at the shoulder, but it goes along the length of your arm. Okay. Silliness. Sorry. So I am going to do these little flicks, kind of mimicking, and I'm also going to do a few coming down. I missed his other arm. Oh my gosh. That doesn't necessarily need cable knit on it, but we'll. Now you can, I've seen amazing work, and I've done some of this where you literally put a cable knit pattern. I will tell you, this is smaller than my thumbnail, right? Okay. My general rule is as it gets thumbnail size and smaller, most of the time I'm going to do more this hint of little line versus trying to go in and literally cable knit my way in there. But hey, if that is where you want to be, I'm going to say go for it. I'm going to darken this up because I feel like that's going to help There we go. That makes a little more sense to me. But literally what I would do, and I don't have a space to do it, is create these little chain links of these little notches. So maybe on a later image, we can look at cable knit. If someone will remind me, we will do it. That was part of my clothing classes. We literally did like 5 images of knits. So this is a little hint of that. See, this is what we're doing. So check out the full card here in just a second. Little sweater weather coming your way, and some options for that to keep it really simple but add a little pizzazz. Thanks as always for tuning in this week, you guys. Hope you're having fun with the Craft and Kimmy October release. We have great things coming up in November and December, or in November in particular, and December as well this year. So make sure you tune in. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I hope to see you over at the other Copic in the Craft Room places. Have a happy, colorful day.